Hello everyone, and thanks for honoring our invitation to Football Planet only on Africanews. Here we only talk football. Our top stories right ahead. African Champions League is gaining steam as defending champions Esperance of Tunis cross into the quarterfinals. But the Tunisians are not the only ones to have qualified, with a match to spare before the end of the group stage. All the group stage possibilities just in a moment. In the CAF Cup, contrarily, nothing is going well for the defending champions. It is a must-win for Raja of Casablanca if they intend to join RS Berkane and CS Sfaxien, the first two to qualify for the quarterfinals. Get all the 5 results and standings in today's show. A huge decision to reverse a previous decision. Massadio Haidara now says he's ready to defend Mali's colors. In a few minutes, you will hear exclusively from the Franco-Malian defender who particularly revisits the reason behind his previous refusal to play for Mali a few years ago. Welcome to Football Planet. We begin with the African Champions League. They only needed 1 win in 2 games to book their final tickets to the quarterfinals. In the end, 1 win was enough to make the difference and propel the Tunisians into the last 8. The reigning African champions did not blink at home to Raja of Guinea, a clear 2-0 win which opens the race for a second qualifier in Group C. The details with Jean-David Mihamle and Michael Tibi.
It was far from being a formality for the reigning African champions, faced with Guineans who had held them off in the first leg. Esperance de Tunis had to be serious and focused to end to avoid a nasty surprise. A disaster scenario avoided on arrival, not without great difficulty, for the 2-0 score at the final whistle could have been different if Raja's players had been more realistic. The field on which their executioners built their success, and it took Murios Asoko's own goal in the 24th minute to see victory finally take shape. The Guineans then resisted until 83rd minute for the second goal from Francois. The Cameroonians then definitely sealed the fate of the match and allowed the Sang to validate their ticket to the quarterfinals with the bonus of the first place in the group. As for the Guineans of Horoya FC, they will have to fight hard on the last day to validate their qualification.
Esperance of Tunis are not the only team to qualify for the quarterfinals of this year's CAF Champions League. Massadio Sundowns also slipped through the group stages. The South Africans secured their tickets by crushing Lobby Stars of Nigeria 3-0 at home. Overconfident CS Constantine and Tupuisa Mazembe missed out. The Algerians lost at home to Club Africaine when all they needed was a draw to qualify. As for the Congolese Giants, they were forced to a 1-1 draw at the already eliminated Ismaili in Egypt. The complete results and standings of the CAF Champions League right ahead. This configuration of the pairings means that the fate will drag to the wire, especially in Group D, where all 4 teams are still keeping their chances of qualifying intact. Breathtaking final day 6 pairings. Take the appointment for next Saturday when the boys will be separated from the men in the African Champions League group stage. In the other competition, the CAF Confederations Cup, the suspense is just as appealing as things are getting more complicated for the defending champions. Last year's winner, Raja of Casablanca, tails Group A after a 0-0 draw at home to Hassania Agadir. On the flip side, it is a pass for RS Berkane and CS Sfaxien, the only teams at the moment whose qualification for the quarterfinals has been confirmed, as seen on these tables. There are still 6 spots to be taken on the last day, which has been scheduled for next Sunday. Raja of Casablanca will have a final opportunity to qualify, but with nothing less than a win to do so. We will, of course, come back to the results of these fixtures next week, Monday. Let's take a little tour to Europe to talk about the UEFA Champions League after the round of 16. On Tuesday, Manchester City will host Schalke 04, while Atletico Madrid travels to Juventus of Turin. And then on Wednesday, there will be a decider when Bayern of Munich hosts Liverpool, who shared the spoils in a goalless first leg at Anfield. FC Barcelona will want a direct flight into the quarterfinals, but air traffic control says there is turbulence in the form of Olympique Lyon. Last week, 3-time champions Real Madrid were trashed at home by lightweight Ajax of Amsterdam, while a last-minute penalty from Marcus Rashford killed Paris Saint-Germain's hopes of making it to the last 8. FC Porto and Tottenham prevailed over AS Roma and Borussia Dortmund, respectively. And finally, remember that the draw for the quarterfinals of this UEFA Champions League will take place next Friday in Nyon, Switzerland. The semi-final pairings will also be done. Back to the continent to talk about the Union of Central African Football Federations, which is changing after 2 years. The organization has a new office headed by the head of the Equatorial Guinean Football Federation with a difficult mission to relaunch UNIFAC's activities in a very complicated economic context. William Bahia and Elaine Wangalwa with more.
A new management team, new ambitions. After 2 years of lethargy, the Union of Central African Federations, UNIFAC, wants to move forward again. Gustavo Nam Edu is the new head of UNIFAC. He says, my ambitions are like I said before, we must first organize sports activities. And we didn't have many representatives in the under-20, under-23 categories. But from now on, we must do another type of dynamism, to have many representatives like in other areas. The Confederation of African Football CAF and the International Governing Body of Football FIFA have decided to financially support this Union of Central African Football Federations. The president of Gabonese Football Federation says CAF has given us, I think, $400,000. We also expect another endowment from FIFA, so there is no reason from this endowment that the union cannot function in the same way as other areas that work well as COSAFA or SECAFA. For UNIFAC, the hardest part is undoubtedly yet to come. The new team has only 2 years to change everything.
As I told you earlier, Massadio Haidara hopes to transcend his fine form with Racing Club de Lens to the Eagles of Mali. Approached by his country of origin a few years ago, the Franco-Malian defender had nevertheless declined the offer, preferring, according to many people, to wait for a call-up with the French national team, just like many binational players. But the 26-year-old gives other reasons to justify his refusal. Take a listen.
I had not made a final decision. I was still very, very young when Mali first approached me. I didn't have any clear ideas yet. I wasn't yet focused on my international future. So I gave myself time to allow my career progress normally. Mali has also evolved over the years. I've had discussions with the representatives of the Malian national team, and they have convinced me. So today, I would be very happy to be part of this group.
But that's history now. The player who had already given his consent to wear the Eagles' yellow jersey now says he is waiting for another call from the Malian coach and hopes to play in the African Cup of Nations.
I responded favorably to the previous call-up by the national team. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to honor it because I had a muscle problem. So I had to stay here in Lens to get better. At the moment, I haven't received another call-up, so I don't know. But it is clear that if I am called, I would answer positively and would be happy to go. If I have the chance to be part of the group, it would give me immense joy and pride to be able to represent the colors of the country of origin of both my parents and myself. I think Mali has ambitions to win AFCON, and they have the manpower to do so. I believe Mali will be a contender for the title, and I would like to be part of it too.
With that, we conclude today's show. Get more sports news on our website, www.africanews.com. Leave your opinion, comments, and suggestions on our addresses at the bottom of your screens. Philemon Bale is my name for translation, and I will be with you next Monday for presentation. Have an excellent week. Bye-bye.
Au revoir.